Well, let's go live now to the Youth Wellness Hub, where the province's Associate Health Minister of Health and Addictions is speaking.
Shout out to Dr. Jo Henderson. Her tireless advocacy for the youth of this province, especially on a day like today, is and must be acknowledged. Dr. Henderson deserves this recognition because it's her vision and her real passion for this area that has sparked a passion in me wanting to see more of these. And of course, we're seeing the outcomes already. And so thank you, Dr. Henderson, for making more people in the province of Ontario and the province of Ontario a healthier place for everyone. Despite having had weather challenges over the last few weeks, this is the third Youth Wellness Hub that Dr. Henderson and myself have opened. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were in Sudbury, stuck there because our Youth Wellness Hub in Sault Ste. Marie opened. We managed to get ourselves to Sagamok to open the first Indigenous Youth Wellness Hub, and then we were told that our flights back to Toronto were delayed till the next day because of a snowstorm. So it made it a little more interesting than usual to open up those hubs, but of course, I'm certainly glad to be here today and weather cooperating to be able to open up this third hub in the series of hubs that are being opened. As we approach the one-year anniversary of the launch of the Youth Health Plan, today's opening also marks the steady progress we've been making to implement that plan. That is, to open the Youth Wellness Hubs for the youth. And over the past years, we've expanded access to mental health supports for young people across the province by opening an additional 8 new Youth Wellness Hubs in diverse communities throughout Ontario. That, as I said, brings us to 22 Youth Wellness Hubs since 2020. The services that are provided at these hubs, everything from basic life skills and resiliency building to primary care, early intervention, and mental health and addiction supports, make these investments no-brainers for us. They're also showing clearly positive results. Youth Wellness Hubs across the province have served over 43,000 youth since 2020 and have had nearly 170,000 total visits. That's 43,000 kids who could have been anywhere else, but they're coming to these Youth Wellness Hubs because these are the places that they can feel safe to be themselves, where they can find help if they need help, and most importantly, relate to other youth and share experiences that also helps those other youth. You know, when I look at the statistics in Canada with respect to youth mental health Canada reported 1.2 million youth in Canada that are affected by mental illness. Now, if Ontario represents roughly 40% of the population, that's 300,000 youth that are in need of supports. 43,000 unique visits tells me that we're starting to make a difference. We're starting to build a system of care where we're providing these youth the supports and services that they desperately need. And I always say, think about it for a moment, where would those 43,000 kids be if these Youth Wellness Hubs didn't exist? And as we continue growing the Youth Wellness Hubs, I know that there will be more than 43,000 children and youth that are going to be impacted upon, and this will have a profound impact on their lives as they become adults. And based on the huge success of Ontario's Youth Wellness Hubs, I'm pleased to announce that we will be opening an additional 5 Youth Wellness Hubs to connect even more youth to mental health services closer to home. These hubs are not only a way to meet a current need for these supports and services, but they're also upstream investments in the mental health of this province. And we know that investments today will lead to a strong, resilient, and healthy youth tomorrow. And that is important if we want the province to grow financially, economically, but also as a healthy province. And so even though we're already seeing the positive impact of these hubs, I know that we're still going to repeat rewards. We are going to continue reaping rewards, of these investments for decades to come. And when it comes to child and youth mental health, we are the first government in Ontario's history to treat this issue with the seriousness it deserves. This is why we added mental health education to
We've been
the 7,
listening
8,
to
and 10 curriculum.
live press conference
This is
with
why
the
we've
Associate
opened
Minister
16
of
additional
Health
youth
and
treatment beds for
Addictions
children
speaking
with
today.
complex
He's
mental
speaking
health
at a
needs,
Youth
and
Wellness
12 more
Hub, all
beds
this in
that are
part
opening
of
soon.
Bell
This
Let's
is
Talk
why
Day
we've
and
made
some
it
of
more
the
convenient for
additions
children to
to
access support through
impacting mental
immediate
health.